Starting off this video with some ASMR gas time, and at the same time, ASMR coffee time. Oh yeah. A little bit for her, a little bit for me. All right, we got a pretty cram-packed day. We're gonna go to Yoshio factory, gonna work on the S15. We're gonna see Phil, he's gonna pick up his new 180SX, which is gonna be baller. Lots of cool things happening today. So I literally just arrived at Yoshio factory and Oka-chan's already got me working on the S15. I didn't even get to like relax and sit down at all. We moved the car out and he threw me one of these R35 GTR airflow meter adapters. So this is gonna go in there, replace the Z32 airflow meter. We've got the plug and everything there for the new R35 one. And then this is the airflow meter itself from the R35. That's gonna slide in there kind of like a cartridge, and then that'll bolt in, new plug, solder all the wires and things like that, and we should be good to go. That also means Oka-chan's gonna probably be applying his tune and setting today, and we might get to test drive it a bit, we'll see. We are very fortunate that we actually already have the correct airflow meter here, the filter here, but we do need to replace that foam. It's old, it's gross. So we've got a brand new HKS one there, so we'll be replacing that as well, making that all nice and pretty. So, enough talking, let's jump into it, time lapse, let's go. So I've just taken the old foam out of the filter, and that's the new one there, and you can see the color difference there. But let me just go to the bin and show you why you need to maintain your air filter, especially if you have one of these ones, right? Now the inside's not so bad, but it does break apart if you rip at it, right? See how easily that just breaks apart in my fingers and it all just falls apart? And then look at this. This is the outside. Look at it all just falling off by shaking it. So you need to make sure that you always maintain your aftermarket air filters and replace them every now and then, because the foam does degrade over time and you don't want all of that getting sucked into your turbo and engine, because that's going to cause problems. It's going to melt at high temperatures, gum up things, your spark plugs. And worse, it can actually damage your engine, I guess. So make sure you definitely maintain that. So we've got a fresh brand new one over here. We'll put that on. Oka-chan's soldering up the connectors right now for the R35 airflow meter, and I guess the time lapse is still running, so we'll go from there. And just like that, we now have the R35 airflow meter installed. Actually just changing the airflow meter cartridge, like the foam here. Now that's a nice bright yellow, plus having a nice cast alloy piece in here. It's tidied up this corner of the engine base so much. At some point in the future, we are redoing this piece here, and we're gonna make this so it's like kind of like in level in here, so it's gonna look a lot neater and whatnot. But for now, that will do. The next job that I have to do for Oka-chan to apply his setting is I need to remove the ECU for him. So I'll pull all these parts out of the way, we'll pull the factory ECU out, and then we'll have a look at there and show you what he's gonna do there. So I've taken the ECU out of the car, and this is the factory ECU, which then has this daughter board here, which has these two EEPROM chips, which is using flash memory so that you can then essentially customize and put your own map on the factory ECU. Kind of a bit similar to how the NIS tune works and stuff, but you can't do any editing on the fly. So what happens is these chips are removed and then new chips are put in, and right now, as you can see, Oka-chan's on his computer and he's adjusting the map to suit everything that I've got on my S15, and then he's then going to apply that onto a new chip with the flasher there, and then we're going to replace these ones with those ones that he flashes with the new PROM. These will then go into the eraser there and get erased and wiped. It's kind of old school in the sense of where technology's at now with ECUs, but it works really, really well as long as you know what you're doing. So why mess around with something that's been working for generations, you know what I mean? And it's also very, very cool and retro, so I kind of like it. So that's why we're going with this system for now, because it's what Oka-chan knows best. And then later down the track, we're going to be putting probably like a full aftermarket ECU in there at some point. But it's still pretty cool. I love how like shiny and stuff the center of these EEPROM chips are. It's very cool. And then the way that they get erased is in the eraser, it's just UV light just hits them and wipes all the zeros and the ones off the little silicon sheets in there. It's very cool how it works. All right, we got the ECU in. Let's see if she'll crank. Start up. A little bit nervous. Oh, right away. Oka-chan looked at me like, did you ever doubt me? Nah. I think it's actually idling better than it did before. That's kind of crazy. Oh. Look at this guy in his fresh new 180SX.
There it is.
So how soon before you start skidding this thing?
Oh, I don't know.
Right away?
I don't want to make any promises because I said really quick in the chaser and that never got skidded.
That never got skidded, yeah. The chase is gone now too, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. This thing looks so good, man. It's so good to see you in an S chassis. Oh yeah. Give it a little pop pop. Hell yeah. All right, man. Have a safe drive home.
I shall.
Enjoy your fresh new purchase.
I will.
And yeah, safe travels. All right, so back to work on the S15 after a lunch break and helping out Oka-chan with this customer's car over here. We're gonna be putting this door card here on here, and then this one isn't, this is the old one under here, as you can see the big cut hole there. So we're gonna put this nice fresh one on there. We're gonna clean it up first, put it on there. We're then going to put in the rear seats and everything, clean out everything. Gonna vacuum the floor, it's pretty dirty, so we'll get all of that done now. Got the new door card on, and I'm not normally a vacuum kind of person, but this Dyson is amazing, and now I have to get one. It's just so handy for cleaning cars. It's compact, it actually sucks really, really well. That's a weird thing to say, but I mean, it also kind of feels cool too. Feels like you're kind of like shooting a gun, but it's just so handy for cars, and all the little pieces that come with it and stuff that pull everything out of the carpet, like this guy, and then how it extends. So freaking cool. All right, we definitely need to get one of these Dysons, although I suspect that these are probably like $1,000 or something stupid ridiculous, but definitely very, very handy. So while I'm waiting for the battery to recharge on the vacuum cleaner, I found a really nasty surprise. You guys remember this thing that was like up bolted to the roll cage like that? I thought it may have been for like an antenna for radio, like spotters and stuff like that at competition, but it turns out this is for the security system. And if you can see here, it gets worse. I want to stab the person in the eyes that did this. This is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So yeah, we're going to be removing all of this for sure and putting in a completely different system, probably a nice little Viper with GPS and stuff like that. Just because this car has only 30,000 kilometers on it, it's practically a brand new chassis. One thing as well is the side steps still have the plastic on them to peel off. So yeah, this car is definitely got low mileage, but I mean, obviously it was used in competition, so you know, we're going to be changing the dash out too. So we've got a lot of things to do still, but I'm going to try and clean this up now while we wait for the vacuum cleaner. Have you ever started on something and thought this will be a quick, easy job, and then all of a sudden fallen down the rabbit hole and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger? Well, that's exactly what happened removing this alarm system. So I've removed out mostly everything. The only thing that's left are a few wires that go to the solenoids and the doors that are aftermarket solenoids. The internal central locking from Nissan still works fine. When I push that button, it unlocks the doors. So all of this is what came out of the car. Literally 2 separate alarm systems in here. It was absolutely ridiculous. GPS modules, microphone sensors. It just went on and on and on and on. Shock sensors. I don't even, like the GPS antennas system and all that stuff. This is definitely a pretty crazy baller security system, because it even connected to like the interior lights and stuff, so that if someone had cut and bypassed it, and then someone had then, without turning off the alarm, if someone had then turned the lights on for the car, it would set it off and send it like a GPS signal back to the owner. So the system was definitely pretty state of the art. back when it was installed. But we're definitely going to be getting a new system that doesn't have anywhere near this crazy wiring. And there's still a few things, like I said, the aftermarket actuators in the door I need to remove. And there's one other secondary alarm module in here, the speaker. So we'll pull that out later when I get in there. But hot damn, was that a rabbit hole, and a lot of wiring. Like the secondary alarm system module was hidden in behind the cluster, and I had to pull all of that out. Although I have to give them credit where credit due, they didn't like splice into the wire and solder it all. It was just all those little clips, so I was able to just unclip the wire and wrap the original wire with electrical tape to restore it back to normal. So they did a really good job of not effing up my wiring, so that was nice. Anyways, I'm gonna put everything back together, but I want to make sure that this thing still starts and runs after removing all of that from my car. So let's find out now. Oh, it cranks. Yeah, she's no problem. Gosh, what a disaster. So now that we got that rat's nest out of the car, we threw it on the hoist, setting up to start doing an alignment on everything. And I also changed the spaces in the front to a nice big 50 mil. It's going to bring the wheel out far enough to where we need it so it clearances everything. Yeah, I mean, I've always been a little bit kind of skeptical with spaces, but everyone runs them here in Japan. Even the D1 cars have them, FD cars have them, and they don't seem to have any issues. So we'll see how we go. Obviously, even Oka-chan's comp car has the same 50 mil worth of spaces that mine does. So it seems to be the pretty standard setup for S15s. So obviously, I got the 50 mil spaces too. So yeah, we're going to dial in this alignment, and then I guess, I mean, if we're lucky, we might be able to take it for a little rip today. All right, so unfortunately we bailed on the alignment because the rear arms that are in here right now are just not cooperating with us. And we also remembered that that rear traction arm up in there is still factory. So we're not going to get the adjustability out of them that we were hoping for. So we're going to change them all to brand new Yashio factory ones. Luckily, Oka-chan has them in stock, but we're closing now and locking up the workshop and loading all the cars in, hence why it's on the hoist, and there's another S15 under it. So yeah, we're going to change them out, hoping for tomorrow, but I'm not sure on my schedule yet if I'll be able to do that. I got some stuff to do with May tomorrow, which may take all day. So we'll see how we go. But the front's definitely looking much better. But yeah, we'll do the proper alignment and everything and get the camber dialed in the front for max angle and whatnot. And we'll go from there. So might be working on it again tomorrow, might not be, not sure. But oh man, we definitely got to get ourselves a nice full set of these. But I need 17s for the front, so we need to get a set of RG3, I think they are, for the front, but in 17s. Because 17s is it's just better to run 17s in the front in all your setups, just that way you can get more angle and not have rub issues, especially considering we're not tubbing or anything like that. So just, why not, right? All right, lads, time to head home. Another fun day working on the S15 at Yashio factory. Really keen to get the S15 done. We're so close to taking it out for a shakedown and figuring everything out. So really pumped. Anyways, let's head home. Got about an hour's drive home. We'll pick it up from there. Okay, so I just got home and I'm gonna start editing this video to get it up as soon as possible because I need to be up super early. But today, awesome day. We did some more work on the S15. We're progressing along. I know like the kind of stuff that we're doing right now is like kind of slowing down a bit. Like it's not like crazy big, huge things like putting, you know, body kits on and transforming the car outside and stuff like that. But we're doing all the little things now to make the, you know, inside of the car look better. Just being able to pull out all that wiring has actually made me feel so productive and happy. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but like I'm kind of a wiring guy. It's a lot of the stuff that I used to do for my job and things like that was wiring and making sure things look pretty. As a network engineer, you want your rack to look nice inside and not have crazy wires everywhere. So yeah, when I come across stuff like that, I vomit everywhere. Anyways, so yeah, I'm just happy we cleaned all that out. We did some weight reduction. We got 10 kilos of wiring and alarm system and some junk out of there. We are going to be putting an alarm system back in there, but I'm going to be putting a Viper one in. Viper's my favorite alarm system out there. Please sponsor me, guys. But yeah, we'll be putting that in there. It's a lot simpler and it's much easier to do a lot neater things. You don't need anywhere near the amount of stuff that that thing had. Anyways, I think I'm going to leave it there, but I'm really pumped. We got the R35 airflow meter on there, and Oka-chan's put his tune on there, so we'll go and double check that everything's all good there with the flash before we make any more final changes and do a shakedown, I guess, because we got shuck-in and stuff like that happening soon, so the thing's going to be street legal, registered, and good to go to a drift event shortly. Oh boy, I'm nervous. All right guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell me what you thought in the comment section. Have you ever bought a car and found a nasty rat's nest of a wiring situation? I'd like to hear your story. Tell me in the comment section. Peace out guys. Jamata.